predicting the 2023 Hall of Fame class. So I want to give kudos to this past year's class, the 2022 class. Dick Vermeil, Cliff Branch, Bryant Young, Tony Baselli, Art McNally, Richard Seymour, Sam Mills, and Leroy Butler. The exercise I want to have on today's show is predicting next year's class. Now, there's going to be 5 modern era players, and what that means is players that have retired within the last 5 years, and then they have 20 years of eligibility as a modern era player. I'm going to give you my list. I want to hear what you think. Here are the 5 that I selected, Ike. Joe Thomas, Browns. He played like more than 10,000 consecutive snaps, which I believe is like the longest streak in NFL history. Darrelle Revis, Revis Island. Need I say more? Right. Torry Holt as well. Torry Holt, I think right now is the most accomplished receiver, not currently in the Hall of Fame. Right. DeMarcus Ware, same thing at the edge rusher position. There are other edge rushers, which we'll discuss. Then I've got Devin Hester, the greatest return man of all time, rounding out my 5. Those are the 5 that I think belong in next year's class. What say you, Ike Taylor? We'll discuss this really quickly.
Yeah, I'm going to go with D. Hess for sure. I'm going to go with Devin Hester. I'm going to go with Darrelle Revis and the Torry Holt. And you name one more before.
DeMarcus Ware, and I got Joe Thomas as well, rounding up my 5.
Joe, by far, between out the 5 you named, by far, hands down, Joe Thomas and Darrelle Revis.
Yep.
Out the 5, them 2 for sure are guarantees. Guarantees. I didn't play against Joe, and Joe played against some of our best outside Russian linebackers, and we saw exactly what Joe was doing. Joe won't play in no games. So once Joe get them hands on you, go out on, sit your butt down, and go in timeout. That's exactly what Joe Thomas was doing to the Pittsburgh Steelers and everybody else. Darrelle Revis, Revis Island. I mean, I've been a fan of Riri. This what he do. He invites you to come to his island. He sell you the dream. He say, man, I got all these exclusive restaurants. I got a six-star, a diamond hotel. I got a catering, a concierge service. I got everything you look for. You get to the island, there's nobody there. He's there to lock you up. There is no such thing as a hotel, no concierge, no nothing. So Revis didn't lie to you. So when I look at that part, but hands down, it's between them 2, Mark, Revis and Joe Thomas.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Torry Holt, I could make the argument that Reggie Wayne, Andre Johnson deserving, Hines Ward. We've argued on behalf of Hines Ward, who, in my opinion, is the greatest blocking receiver. Right. In my opinion, and I've said this before, you got to put Torry Holt in first before you put Ward in. I felt the same way about DeMarcus Ware as well. If you look at the stats, like James Harrison, your former teammate, I think is deserving. Dwight Freeney as well. If you look at the stats, if you look at the on-field production, there are certain players that need to go in first, Ike. So it's not to say that the other guys aren't deserving, but there needs to be a pecking order in terms of the merit, the on-field accomplishment, and how you remember those players in some of the greatest moments of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I would take Debo over. No disrespect, I'm taking Debo over, DeMarcus Ware. He changed the game. Like, I'm looking at who changed the game. And did DeMarcus Ware change the game? We talking about a former league defensive MVP in James Harrison. I mean, and I just know for a fact we didn't ask James Harrison to rush the quarterback every time. He had to cover as well. It was one time when he was second on the league in interceptions. When you're just a 4-3 and you're a 4-down defensive end, man, you get to rush the quarterback every time, bro. Yeah. The White Freeney. They didn't ask the White Freeney to go out to the flat to hook curls and cover. Hey, get to the quarterback so I can only imagine if you let a James Harrison, a Lamar Willie, a Joey Porter just rush the quarterback every time. Man, them boys gonna have 20 sacks a year. But that's just the difference for me, Mark. But I gotta skate. All
right, Ike, we will get you out of here. Best defensive play in Super Bowl history as well, might I add. Correct. And I'm glad you brought up the context because Ware and Freeney have more sacks, more tackles for loss, but that's important context, and I appreciate you sticking up for your teammate as well. It's important context.